Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's TBR video. We're doing another one where I posted some Instagram stories and I covered up the books and you guys anonymously chose which ones are going to be added to my TBR. I love doing these. My favorite part is posting the stories and seeing you guys respond, trying to guess what books are under them, or just saying you're so excited to see if the one that you chose is the one that's going to win. So I have, I think, 6 books over here that we're going to be choosing from, and I also have 2 books to add to my TBR for today, thanks to today's sponsor, which is Book of the Month. You guys know how much I love Book of the Month. I got this package delivered today. I opened the box and I saw this blue box and I was just like, this is the best package to get. If you have not been here before and have not heard me talk about Book of the Month, I've been working with them for so long. I love them, and it's an online book service subscription for us readers. Each month their team vets hundreds of book titles and then they send us a short list of those titles that they found to be the best for the month, and then we get to choose from that list. My favorite part is that they focus on new and emerging authors, so you can find titles you may not have heard of otherwise, or authors, or find new authors to love, new books to love. I have found so many books from them and authors that I have not heard of before and are new favorites for me. They offer the best price on new release hardcover fiction, free shipping, and a loyalty rewards program. Into the books that I picked for this month, it was honestly so hard choosing. There were so many good titles on this list for November. The first one is Her One Regret. I read the summary of this one and I was just so intrigued by it. This one is technically a thriller, but it follows motherhood and also the societal pressures on women, so I'm very excited about this book. And then the other one I got is actually another thriller mystery. I feel like I found some of my favorites through Book of the Month, so I knew I had to get this one, which is Where He Left Me by Nicole Bart. This one is about a newly married couple and her husband does not return from her work trip. She has no idea where he is and she's now isolated at the house that he grew up in. So mystery thriller, very excited about this one, and I feel like my choices this month are gonna be great. If you guys are interested in Book of the Month and you want to sign up, you guys can get your first book for just $9.99 with the code FEAST. I will have the link in the code and everything in the description. Thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into the books for, actually, let's get into the TBR from last month and I'll let you guys know how I did on that. If you guys have not kept up with my recent reading vlog and you did not watch my TBR video for October, I personally myself, I think, put 3 books onto the TBR and then we picked 6 books. So we have 9 books from last month that I wanted to read, and I actually completed all of them. I read every single one of those books, which was honestly such a big accomplishment. It just felt so good doing that. And I honestly think doing TBR videos like this really help because I'm able to choose the 2 books that you guys are picking from. So they are essentially books that I would like to read, doesn't matter which one are going to be picked. So I was more motivated to read those and I'm very happy about that and I'm proud of myself. So completed the entire October TBR. Since that happened, I feel like I'm on a roll now and now I'm more motivated, and honestly I feel like I'm in a competition with myself. Like I have to finish these as well. I think we have 6 books again that we're going to choose. I don't have any personally that I'm going to add myself to the TBR for the month of November just because I'm starting to film for Bookmas, so I don't want to add too many books. So we have the books for this video only. I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't even remember what books I put under each one. I have them next to me, I just don't know which one goes with which one, so give me a second. Okay, I remembered this one. I'm actually very intrigued because both of these books are genre mixing and they have the same genres mixed together in them, so I knew they would be perfect to put together. The one on the left has the caution emoji and then the little podcast type microphone, and then the one on the right has a knife, a rock star symbol, and a guitar. And I love seeing everyone's guesses on these because no one guessed them. Actually, I think one person did, which was very exciting to see. But the one on the left is All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles, and the one on the right is How to Kill a Rock Star by Tiffany DiBartolo. These both are mixtures of romance and mystery, which I think is very, very interesting. This one I believe is about a girl whose sister goes missing and she's like going cross country trying to figure it out, and she has a true crime podcast, and I believe she gets into some type of romantic thing, obviously with the whole genre mix thing. This one has been on my TBR for quite a bit. I haven't seen anyone read it, but it intrigues me so much, just the title of it. And this one is about these 2 people who, I think one is in a famous band. Eventually I think he disappears, but they have this like huge romance or something like that. So both of these sound very interesting to me, but let's see which one won. The one on the left got 38% and the one on the right got 62%, which means How to Kill a Rock Star is on the November TBR. I'm so excited about this. I needed something to like tell me to pick it up because I've gravitated towards this book so many times and I don't know why I haven't read it. I love me a book about, you know, rock stars and a band. I don't know if that's the band lover in me, the One Direction 5 Seconds of Summer lover in me, but something about that really does it for me, and I'm really excited about this. The summary's not on the back of this book, but when I read the summary on Goodreads, the band that he's in is called Banana Fish. And that's just such an interesting name for a band. I'm hoping they give us the reason why it's called Banana Fish. So first book on the TBR is How to Kill a Rock Star. I'm very excited about this. Like I said, I'm going to be filming for Bookmas this month, so I'm very excited to be starting to read some holiday-esque books, and I knew I wanted to include at least one poll with 2 holiday-themed books. So the one on the left has a little Christmas tree and a family, and the one on the right has a little snowflake and a ring, a wedding ring. So the one on the left is The Christmas You Found Me by Sarah Morgenthaler. But this one I'm pretty sure is about a mother who's a single mother. Hold on. Okay, it's Christmas time. Her painful marriage is over. It's full of memories and incredibly lonely until a tall, handsome stranger and a little girl walk into her life, and suddenly the holidays are alive again. This sounds so cute. Okay, so she's not a single mother, he's a single father, but I don't know. Something about this cover and the story just sounds really heartwarming. So this is the one on the left, and then the one on the right with the snowflake and the wedding ring is Where Happiness Begins by N.S. Perkins, one of my favorite authors. She has such great books. This one is part of an interconnected series. They're all like wintry type romances, so that's why I've been saving this one. I read the second one in this series last December during Bookmas time. This one, like you guys can see on here, there's a wedding ring and also the emoji that I use. This one's obviously Marriage of Convenience. It says she's waiting for a kidney transplant, which one thing I love about N.S. Perkins, she's actually also a doctor, so she writes a lot of like health issues in her books and gives a lot of awareness to those things, what people go through like that and emotionally, and how it affects people and in relationships and their personal life and everything like that, and I really appreciate that. So I remember this character from the other books in the series, but yeah, she's looking for a kidney transplant. She can't afford the medication, and while she's successful as a content creator, she'll never be able to survive without health insurance. After realizing his lifestyle as a famous band member had become toxic, Andrew Carter moved across the country and left everything behind. After an awkward first meeting, they realize they both have something the other wants. She has the platform to promote the band, and he has the health insurance she needs. So their best option is to get married. Marriage of Convenience, very excited about this one. They're both great wintry romances, so I would be happy about either one of these winning. The one on the left got 34% and the one on the right got 66%, so that means we are reading Where Happiness Begins by N.S. Perkins. I'm very excited about this. I feel like she does a great mix of emotional romance mixed with like a humor and just a really cute, interconnected, like seeing all the other couples. She's really, really great at that. Like I said, she's a doctor as well, so she is absolutely killing it. These next two, you guys completely guessed the one on the right, which I feel like was very easy to guess. I feel like I did a great job with the emojis of it, but it was on the nose. It was definitely exactly what the book is, and so many of you guessed what it was. But the one on the left has the little sunrise emoji and the handshake, and then the one on the right is a blue emoji and then 2 girls. The one on the left is actually a book that I put on last month that lost, and that is Days You Were Mine by Claire Leslie Hall. It was hard picking emojis for this one, but I kind of just went off the title and I put the sunrise for like the days, and then You Were Mine is like the handshake. I don't know. No one guessed this, and I feel like it was a hard guess anyway, but that's this book. I read Broken Country I think in August, and I really enjoyed that by this author, so I added this to my TBR last month. I bought it and I'm very excited about it. I liked her writing style. I'm interested in another read by her, so that's this one. I think this is like a generational story about this son who was put up for adoption and lives with his adopted family, is trying to find his birth parents, and then you also see the birth parents like love story and what happened there, so that's this one. And then on the right, the very obvious one is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I remember last year, I think I was talking about this book, maybe Cleopatra and Frankenstein by her, and I called her Coco Melon. And I'll never forget myself doing that. This one is just a contemporary fiction novel, I believe, about obviously these sisters and their relationship. I don't really know the details of the summary of this one. I've just heard so many people absolutely love this. I tried to read Cleopatra and Frankenstein maybe 2 summers ago. I did Soft Tea Never and I haven't gotten back to it, but it is on my physical TBR. And I definitely want to get back to it now that I'm like kind of getting more into just fiction novels. So this is the other one that was on the poll. Wow, okay. The one on the left got 68% and the one on the right, Blue Sisters, got 32%, which is surprising because of so many people that knew what that book was. But that means we're adding Days You Were Mine by Claire Leslie Hall to the TBR, which I'm very excited about. Again, I really enjoyed her last book. I like her writing style and I'm interested to read another book by her. And her chapters are really short and her writing is really fast paced. I think it's a great book to read for November, not even just November, just like in general. Adding that to the TBR, we have 3 more polls. Okay, this next one I'm so excited about and I'm so nervous to see which one won. It was hard again to do the emojis for this one. We have another book from last month that lost, but I wanted to add it to this month's TBR just to see if it won, give it another chance. But the one on the left is a school and then a spy, which, you know, I don't really know where I was going with this, but I'll explain when I tell you what the book is. And then the one on the right is Falling Leaves and then a little letter. So the book on the left is The Will of the Many by James Islington. I like need to read this book. Everyone says it's like a phenomenal series. I haven't been in fantasy mood in such a long time, but I've just heard great things about this. And the second book actually comes out this month, I believe, like in November. So I feel like it's just the perfect time to give it a try. It is a really thick book, but I'm excited about it. I put the school emoji and the spy because from what I know of the summary, I don't know much about this book, but from what I know, our main character is like undercover in like the hierarchy of this fantasy world, and something about a school. It says, I tell them I was orphaned after a tragic accident 3 years ago and that good fortune alone has led to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. The truth is I've been sent to the academy to find answers. So that's kind of where I got those emojis from, but I feel like just seeing those emojis, you're not going to expect this is the book that's under it. Anyway, that's the book on the left. And then the one on the right is again a book from last month's TBR that I brought back, and that's The Falling Leaves and the Letter. I feel like it was kind of obvious. If you look at the cover and the emojis, like, if you really give it a second to think about it, you'd probably guess what it was, and that is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I've just seen so many great reviews on this one, and I really want to pick it up. I really want to read it, but I'm not like grabbing at it. So I feel like I need the TBR and you guys just to tell me to read it. But this one I put The Falling Leaves just because there's green leaves on the cover and then the letter. So I remember the magic system, I think, has like letters, something to do with letters in it. There's a quote on the back too, which says, I felt the tug toward him again as if I stood on a shore at high tide. I was far from him, sitting in another realm, and yet I could not parse what was magic and what was my heart. And then the other quote says, I would know she was near, even in the darkness, and I had never desired to be a god, to wield power as one, but in that moment I longed to halt time. Oh my god. Just those quotes alone, like, guys, I don't know if this one won. I'm nervous, but those quotes, those were really good. Okay, let's see. The Will of the Many got 52% and Wild Reverence got 48%. Okay, that was a really close one, but Wild Reverence did lose. But I'm not mad about it. I feel like I'd be happy to read either one of those. I just want to get to both of these before the year ends, so I still have, obviously, November too, but also December to read Wild Reverence, but that means The Will of the Many has won, and I'm just so intrigued by this, and I've just heard, like, the most incredible things about this, so perfect timing to read it too because the next book does come out this month, like I said. Okay, we have 2 more left. The next one, the emojis on the left side was a knife and then a little U pointing emoji, and then one on the right was a ghost and little writing emoji. I feel like I did really good with the emojis for this one and the title. So the one on the left is Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. I've had this on my TBR for quite a bit and I want to read a few more mysteries before the year ends. I feel like I haven't read that genre in, or just period. I feel like I haven't read it in a really long time. And I have a few on my TBR that I would love to get to, and I feel like they're really quick too. So that was the emoji. I feel like I did a pretty good job. And then the left one, I feel like I really killed it. It's literally called Ghostwriter. Literally the ghost emoji and the writing emoji is by Julie Clark. I don't know what either of these are actually about. Okay, yeah, the Taylor family shatters in a single night when 2 teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling is Vincent. And then ghostwriter Olivia has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she's the only child of Vincent, and now she is ghostwriting her father's last book, and what she doesn't know though is that this project is another one of his lies. So I feel like that is a really interesting summary. And then this one I've had on my TBR for quite some time. It says, one dark evening on New York City's Upper West Side, 2 strangers meet by chance. Over drinks, Amanda and Wendy realize they have much in common, especially loneliness and the intense desire for revenge against the men who destroyed their families. I love this already. For some reason, just like women getting revenge on men, I'm always there for it. Always. Honestly, down for either of these. I feel like the summaries sound really, really good, and I just need something thrilling and fast-paced. Kill for Me, Kill for You got 52% and Ghostwriter got 48%, which means obviously Kill for Me, Kill for You is going to be the book that is on the TBR. So excited about this. I feel like after reading that summary, I want to read it even more now. Let's add this to, actually, where's the other one? I forgot to put this up here. All right, adding this to the TBR. All right, we've got 1 poll left to add to the TBR to complete our November TBR. We're really excited about this one because it's a bit more magical. One is a fantasy retelling and the other one's like a magical realism romance. So I feel like those were fun to put together. The emojis on the left was a princess crown and kind of like the evil smiling emoji. And then the one on the right was a 2 peace sign and then a film, like a movie type film. So the one on the left is A Dream So Wicked by Cassandra Odette. This is the Entangled with Fae series. I remember reading the first one. Actually, I think it's the second in the series. They're interconnected. They're all princess retellings. And I read Heart of the Raven Prince like 3 years ago now. I don't remember when, but I absolutely loved it. And then I ended up just continuing the series. I have not read the first one in it, but like I kept going further in. I think this is the last and like completed one. This one's actually a Sleeping Beauty retelling, which I love the story of Sleeping Beauty. When I was younger, that was one of my favorite princesses and movies to watch. So I put the little princess crown, obviously, and then the evil emoji just because like the evil witch. Is it a witch? What is this? Hold on. After 20 years stuck in Fae Convent with no word from whoever abandoned her there, Brianna Rose is all out of hope, but when her parents suddenly claim her and reveal she's a lost Fae princess, she's burdened with the weight of a kingdom on the brink of collapse. To secure her family's precarious position, she must marry a wealthy human stranger. She would have done her duty with pride if it weren't for Thorn Blackwood. Thorn Blackwood harbors 3 things: a secret name, a love for baked goods, and a long-standing plan for revenge on the family that destroyed his own. With a single touch, he controls her, and through that control, he tricks her into triggering a curse that sends her family into 100 years of enchanted sleep. I'm excited about this one just because it's like a whimsical story, and I feel like her writing is very fast paced. I don't remember the last time I read like the last book in the series. I feel like it's been a couple of years now, so I think it's time to finally complete this series. And the one on the right with the peace sign and the movie tape is actually The Second Chance Cinema by Thea Weiss. I put obviously 2 for like second chance, and then cinema I put like the tape. I feel like that makes sense. This one's magical realism. I think it's about this couple who I think they're going through a hard time or something. At the end of a dark alley glitter lights of a glamorous cinema. It's nearly impossible to find. When Ellie and her fiance Drake stumble upon it during a late night walk, they're shocked to discover what's playing inside the red velvet auditorium, their formative memories. She's haunted by a night from her past that she doesn't fully remember, and this could be her only opportunity to piece the story back together. But as their memories project on the screen inch closer to the present, they realize they're both keeping secrets from each other. Okay, sounds very interesting. We've got a magical theater showcasing all the things they have not told each other, which I feel like could be a very, what's it called? Slippery slope? I don't know why I said that. Anyway, let's see which one won. This one's actually completely 50-50. I'm not sure what to do about that. I think if I scroll up, I can see exactly how many votes each one got. Okay, yeah, these were really, really close, but actually, let me just do some math and see how many votes were between the two. Okay, there was 374 votes between them, but the one that won is A Dream So Wicked by Cassandra Odette. I'm excited about this. Like I said, it will complete the series. Actually, I haven't read the first one. Technically, it would complete the series for me because I've read up until this one except the first one, but I know how the first one ends because you know when you're reading an interconnected series and you skip one, you see that couple like in the next book. Technically, it could complete the series for me. In my head, it's completing the series. I love the cover of this. I love a whimsical fantasy type romance situation, and her books are so fast-paced. Like I said, I'm really transported into the princess and the retelling and the world of it, and I feel like it's perfect to read during the fall time. And like going into the winter time, I feel like it's also a great time to read it. This is the last book on the November TBR. We've got some good books over here. I feel like we have some range again, just like last month. We've got a mystery romance, we've got a wintry holiday romance, we have a just regular fiction, contemporary fiction novel, we have a high fantasy, which I'm nervous about, we have a mystery psychological thriller, and then we have a fantasy retelling, which I think is very, very fun. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you're planning on reading any of these. Maybe we can read them together in November, and I will see you in December for our last TBR video of the year, and I'll let you guys know how I did on my November TBR, and I will also be talking about the books that I completed in October for the wrap-up that I'll be posting in December. I will see you for Bookmas, that means, for my next TBR video, which is absolutely crazy. Thank you guys for participating if you did and voting on these books. If you didn't participate and you're just watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you did, and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye!